Teofimo Lopez, the takeover, sets the record straight. He says he tried to make a fight with Devin Haney to no avail. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Subscribe. Teofimo, he got active on his social media. He had a couple things to say. Teofimo posted this: 3 times we tried to face Devin Haney. First, they overpriced themselves. Second time, he didn't show up to the meeting. The third time, Devin told me he only talks to bosses. Wow. Now, this is just Teofimo, what he's saying. As of me recording this video, I have yet to hear a response from Devin Haney. So I don't really know what Devin Haney's response will be or if he will respond to it. This is, again, coming from Teofimo via Teofimo's social media. Now, I will say this because my memory is impeccable. I have a great memory, especially with work that I covered. And I'll probably include it at the end of this video. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the very end of this video to watch the clip where at the end of the day, there was a meetup in Fresno where Teofimo was in attendance, Devin Haney was in attendance, and I believe it's at a Mikey Garcia fight. And during this meetup where the fighters had a confrontation, it's all on camera. I have exclusive video footage of it that was shot for me, right? And what he's saying about the number 2, where he says Devin didn't show up to the meeting, he said it in that tape. I can vouch for that. Because Teofimo, he said, what about the meeting with Bob? Because they were yelling at each other. And Teo was like, but what about the meeting with Bob? What about the meeting with Bob? And that stood out to me because he just kept saying that. And I didn't really know exactly until he later explained in another interview what he was talking about. And that's what he's saying and quoting as the second time. He was like, what about the meeting with Bob? What about the meeting with Bob? And he later broke it down and explained that there was, Devin Haney has a home in Vegas. Teofimo fights with Top Rank, who has an office and their headquarters is in Vegas. So he's alleging that they tried to set up a meeting to potentially make the fight a couple years back, and Devin Haney was a no-show. Wow. Teofimo took it a step further. But before I get into that, and you guys see these receipts, it's all about the receipts. A brief word from the channel sponsor. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We work. And we're back. So Teofimo Lopez, in case you're just joining me, Teofimo Lopez is accusing Devin Haney of stalling out a fight. He's saying that Devin Haney had multiple opportunities to fight him, and in the beginning of this video, I went over all 3. But he takes it a step further, and he says he got some receipts. And in the receipts, he says, here's the proof that I tried once again to fight with Devin Haney. And he tagged him during his fallout with Regis Prograis. Enough is enough with all you fakes joining together to make false narratives. Hashtag sheepdog. So he's saying a lot of people are rocking with Devin Haney. This is how I'm interpreting it. He's saying a lot of people are rocking with Devin Haney and they're being sheep and they're just being led astray with bad information. So again, he said, here's the proof that I tried once again to fight Devin Haney during his fallout with Regis Prograis. So if you remember the Devin Haney and Regis Prograis fight, it did take a cool little minute to negotiate. There was some whatever tensions or money troubles or whatever, and there were some iffy moments. Teo is saying he then stepped up and tried to make that fight instead of Regis Prograis because they were both free. And that's what he's stating as the third time. And he said, enough with you fakes joining together to make false narratives. Now, what is that proof, you ask? I'm glad you asked. Teofimo has a interaction with someone named Joel Fisher, who I guess is a representative with MGM Properties, I guess you could say. And it says 11, he posted this thread, if you will. It says Teofimo Lopez at 11:21 a.m. Good afternoon, Joel. I have a business proposal I would like to talk to you about. How would you and the chairman of Madison Square Garden like to host Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney, February 10th, 2024, live at the MSG Sphere on Super Bowl weekend in fabulous Las Vegas? So he's saying he's hitting up this person. I don't know this guy's role. I'm sure I can look it up through LinkedIn or something, but I guess this is someone who works with MGM Properties. Joel Fisher says, Sal and I would be more than happy to talk with you about this. We have already started to have conversations with Top Rank, with you being the first fight at the Sphere. So Top Rank was already looking to have, I guess, initiate a boxing event in the Sphere, and that's what the guy's saying. With you being the first fight at the Sphere. Haney has been mentioned as a potential opponent for this fight. We also have you headlining the Garden on December 9th, Heisman night. What's the best number to reach you? And we will call now. Teofimo responded, and it says, sounds amazing. Here's my cell phone number. And obviously to protect his rights, so everyone on the internet doesn't have his cell phone number, he had to cut off the rest of the message. Wow. I would definitely be interested to hear the Haney side of it. Bill Haney and Devin Haney. Again, as of me recording this video, I have yet to hear a response, but I would definitely be open to, there's two sides to every story, and I want to hear the response from the Haneys as far as what they believe went on during this, whatever Tio's talking about. For me, it's not my style to like read into it. I wasn't privy to these conversations. This is just what Teofimo is saying. And until we get with Devin Haney's side of the story or Bill Haney's side of the story, then I'll hold a lot of my personal opinions to myself, because this is something that all happened behind the scenes. But a lot of people, listen, boxing is getting soft. I keep saying it. Boxing is getting super soft, where we're getting to an echelon where it's like one big high school and people rather gossip than to actually have the fights had. Me personally, as a full-time content creator for all these years on the platform, I don't find any type of like enjoyment or thrills like by literally getting on the mic and talking boxing and fantasy fights like that. There's nothing about that is exciting or interesting to me. If we ain't talking about a fight, what are we really talking about? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of he said, she said, and I understand a lot of the fans, especially the immature fans, they care about that. They want, they want that beef. I don't really care about all this stuff. You ask some people, and the pro Haney people will say Teofimo ducked a bunch of opportunities, and he don't really want it with Teofimo, don't really want it with Devin. Then you ask other people, and they'll say Teofimo, this is proof that Devin Haney don't want to fight. And for me, I don't really care. Like, I'm just I got to record the content and run the numbers up and expose and let you all know what's going on in the world of boxing. But this is really not something. I just care about the end result. And the reality is, people rather talk about, like, for example, we'll say Devin Haney, because this video is about Teo and Devin Haney. At this point, he last fought in December with Regis Prograis, sensational performance. his name has allegedly been linked to so many people, and none of these fights look like they're making positive growth or like positive strides in making the fight happen. So it's just like I'm talking about Devin's name has been linked to Keith Thurman. We haven't heard no updates about that fight actually being a reality. His name has been linked to Subriel Matias, which would be a unification. And then Bill Haney said that Subriel didn't want it or priced himself out. You have Ryan Garcia. They pump faked and everybody said the negotiations. 2 weeks later, at best, they said no fight. You know, Ryan's going a different direction. Tio's saying this about he tried to make the fight and he's trying to clear the air. We've heard Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis conversations, but the reality is none of these fights are happening. So it's like it's really, I understand why boxing is at a place where it's hard to lure in brand new fans, because it's just a lot of like propaganda and deriding and sides and all this stuff, and it is a lot of talk and Twitter fingers, but there's a lot less conversations about dates and venues and like when the fight's happening. You know what I mean? But I will say, Teofimo, I like the fact that he did post this thread, because that kind of puts the ball in the Haney's court to respond to this, because people have said that Teofimo's ducking and he don't want smoke with Devin Haney, but he's showing this, unless this is a Photoshop, which I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that is not. I mean, he's showing you proof that he's speaking with I guess the chairman of the Sphere in Las Vegas, which is an MGM property, and he's letting you know that he was interested in the fight with Devin Haney. I really don't believe, like, and I know this might be controversial to some, everyone's not ducking Devin Haney. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter, a brilliant, talented fighter, but come on, you can give people to fight Better Biev and Wilder and Gervonta. Like, these guys are like some of the most ferocious punchers in this generation, you know, and they're still able to find somebody who will fight. Anthony Yard will fight Better Biev, or Callum Smith, or whoever, you know, Bevo maybe next. So, you know, there's certain styles that are maybe trickier to deal with from a boxing perspective, like, oh, he's hard to hit, stuff like that. But if the business makes sense, people will fight you, period. You know, Edwin De Los Santos, Shakur is very hard to beat, but Edwin De Los Santos, you got his numbers right, and then they had a fight. Wasn't the best fight in the world, I'm not saying that, but they actually fought. You see what I'm saying? So I don't really buy into Subriel Matias, Keith Thurman, Jaron Ennis, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. Like, everybody in the world is ducking Haney. Like, I don't believe that. And I do think Haney is a top talent and a talented fighter. But people in all divisions or is the business not being handled, or the numbers or whatever? Like, people are expecting Tank to do things that no A side would do, like give up leverage, fight where your ops want you to fight, like just the weird stuff. So that's just my stance. Let me know what you guys think. Teofimo, he showed his receipts, at least, of an effort being made to try to make this fight with Devin Haney. And just because I can and I'm the best in the business, I actually researched the name of the person that he's talking to, Joel Fisher, right? Because I told you I'm not versed with who he is as a person, but this is Teo's Connect, and I looked it up. He's an executive, look, Joel Fisher, executive vice president of marquee events and operations. So yeah, that would be a person who has some clout to potentially bring a fight, a boxing event. So you can't say Teo's capping with this unless you can prove that it's a fake document, and that's a whole nother thing. But this is Madison Square Garden Entertainment, so his Connect, Teofimo's Connect, actually checks out. Mr. Fisher first joined the MS families in 1984, so he's been working with the property. This is their official website, you know, and Teo's a fighter from New York, so, and with Top Rank, so it's not surprising that he's able to, somehow have some kind of connect that he's in touch with, and he's kind of coming out with takeover promotions. So I give credit to Teofimo. At least from the outside looking in, it looks like what he's saying does jive in terms of the attempt. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Best in the business. And it's not even close.